up, you guys? My name's Connor. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel if you're new. And today I'm actually going to be doing a coherent YouTube video. Again, apologies for last week. That was a hot mess. Oh, and also, since last week, hold on, let me clean my glasses. They're real dirty right now. I don't know why I don't go outside. I got a new tripod! I finally got a big, standing tripod. It isn't the one that I wanted. This is a 50-inch tripod, so it's a little over 4 feet, right? I don't know, I don't want to do the math right now. But I got a new one. And the 65-inch one, an extra 15 inches, was nearly $40, and this one was $15, so I went with this one, because Target gift cards.
What are we doing today, Connor?
Today I'm going to be talking about a review of my junior year in high school. Wow, it's also really warm in here because lights are really hot. Like this one above me, which is probably casting really weird shadows, and I really shouldn't have this one on, but I don't know how the video is going to look without it. Yeah, bad. Surprisingly, not that bad. And in case y'all are wondering,
Connor, why didn't you have a sophomore year review?
And I'll tell you the reason.
my sophomore year was literal hell. I'm not going to get into that story right now because there's stuff I have to do before I can. But when I do, ooh, it's going to be juicy. Juicy? What the Connor? Sophomore year was really hard. You know, as soon as it was over, I just really wanted to relax. I still made videos, just I don't want to talk about it. So why don't we just get on with the video? Okay, so I guess the first thing I should do is talk about what classes I had this year. My classes that I took. Let's see, in order, I had drama, which is called musical production. Then I had a broadcasting multimedia class where we did stories for the school and daily bulletins. That was fun. Then I had AP Lit. I'll talk about that soon. Normal US history, Earth Science, and then Math 3. Talk about that later as well. Why don't we just go in chronological order? So before school started, I was really scared for musical production because my teachers that I loved so much, one of them was let go my sophomore year, and they're tight like this. They're such a duo, so they both left, and we had to find a new musical production teacher. And I was really worried that they weren't gonna be as good as my mother's basically. And I met him, and I was very wary at first, but now he's one of my favorite teachers. It's really cool. I'm not gonna say his name for posterity or legal reasons. I don't know. I'm not gonna say his name, but if you're watching, he was a good teacher, and I'm so sad because we're not gonna have him back next year because he has to move across the country for family reasons, also job reasons, but c'est la vie. I don't think next year's teacher could top him or the first teachers that were there. Also, with it being my junior year, it wasn't my first time leaving campus, but it was my first time I was allowed to leave campus. My school, I don't know if it's gonna be like this next year, I hope it is, but whatever. Long story, you'll see in a minute. For my school, it's freshmen and sophomores are closed campus, meaning they can't leave at lunch. But for juniors and seniors, it's open campus, and they can leave for lunch. So I was finally allowed to leave. I have left campus before. I've gone to Starbucks and Dutch Bros and Burger King. You know, I went maybe twice a month sophomore year, and then freshman year I left once, and that was to talk about with my senior friend Corey. What's up, Corey? You got me started on my life of crime. Oh my god, further than I thought. Okay, I went to Burger King a lot with my friend Miranda because Burger King happened to be our thing, and we would go eat it in her old science teacher's room, who I never had, but gave me a special nickname, Tanner. Thank you. You're not watching this. You 1000% are not. And that was fun. I really wish that like me and my immediate friends had a car, just so like I didn't have to ask people that I wasn't really that close with to drive us yet. To drive us. But luckily my friend Sierra had a car, so she drove us, even though it was illegal for her to for a couple months. Yeah. C'est la vie. Oh my god, so I wrote a loose script for this. And I realized that I said the wrong class. I didn't take AP Lit, I took AP Lang, which it wasn't my favorite thing. In all honesty, I really hated that class. And I didn't need to take an AP class. I'm not planning on going to college, but I only took it to have the teacher. I hated that class with a burning passion, and I'm not a fan of English. Do not take that class. I am sorry. But, oh god, I regretted taking it and I couldn't drop it. But I'm taking AP Lit next year. In chronological order, I guess the next thing would be Halloween. This Halloween, what did I do? I didn't really have plans to hang out with any friends, really. So I went to my academic decathlon meeting that we had. The leader said, hey, y'all can come in costume if you want. So, I dressed up as a penguin. The story behind that is, this year I really wanted to be a space cowboy just because of Julian Solomita. My sister took me to the store to go look for Halloween costumes, and we saw none at the first store that we went to, and she told me to just pick one out here, so I chose a penguin. Then we went to another Halloween store for her stuff, and they had space cowboy costumes. I got really mad because she wouldn't return the penguin one. Anyways, it was weird because like, it was a full body costume, not like shirt and pants. It was just one long penguin thing. I'll put in a picture if I can find one. I probably won't though. So I went to my Acadeca meeting. It sucked, just because I wasn't a huge fan of Acadeca at the time. I got home, threw off my costume, and just started eating candy that we had out for trick-or-treaters. Then Miranda called me and she's like, hey, you want to come over and carve pumpkins with me and Dickie? So we carved pumpkins. And yeah, that was fun. We just hung out in her backyard and screamed and spilled tea while carving pumpkins. And the next thing chronologically was the fire. If you don't know, on November 8th, electrical pole set something on fire in Polga, California, in Butte County, and because of high winds and a lot of dry season, it burnt down 2 towns. And one of those towns happened to be the one that I live in. That was the campfire, and it sucked. It really fucking sucked. I mean, I know there's more news coverage and stuff online about the campfire. Shane Dawson did a whole thing in his conspiracy series about the campfire, and also the Burmy fire in Southern California, which happened on literally the same day, like 3 hours later, which was really weird. If you want that, go research it, because this is really all I got for it. I'll leave a link to Shane's conspiracy series with a timestamp of where to go for the campfire in the description below. And yeah, just Google search campfire 2018. So, my sister and I stayed at my brother's house, and that was really stressful because it was my brother, my sister-in-law, her 4 kids, my mom, my sister and I, and also 10 animals with my brother's animals and my sister's animals. So it was a lot going on there, and it's not the biggest house, so it was stressful. My sister and I stayed in my oldest nephew's room with the dogs until her insurance sent her a trailer to put up at the side of my brother's house, which she stayed in with the dogs, which is this trailer. And then I shared a room with my oldest nephew. He's not really my nephew, but that's just what I call him. And also, thankfully, my sister and I got really lucky, and our house was saved from the fire. But due to contamination and cleanup and just everything, the fire took basically a whole month to be put out and to be 100% contained. So we couldn't go up there for quite a bit. And with that, school was canceled for like 3 weeks-ish due to smoke, and also there not being a way to get to my school, so it was in a burned down. So we set up at the local mall to meet up, and everyone was handed Chromebooks. We basically had online school for the rest of the semester, which was about a month-ish. And everything was fine on there. It was through our normal online program that we had through e-learning. Most of it was fine, except for math. Math sucked! Because it's really difficult for most people, me included, to learn math online without a teacher. Luckily, my math teacher was like, hey, just do this one section and then you're done after you take the test. And I got a C, which average, yeah. And yeah, with online school being there and also, like, you know, a lot of people's houses burning, a lot of my friends moved away, and it really sucked, like a lot. Even them not being on online school, it was really sucky, and it's still really sucky. And I was no longer going to school with 3 of my best friends, Ella, Miranda, and Jackie. Literally the day before the fire, we all hung out and got ice cream, and it was really surreal not being able to do that really anymore. To move on to a different thing, we had like certain meetups at Chico schools and like Oroville schools, and there was this one meetup. It was being rumored that every student was going to get a check for $500 to $1,000, and I really didn't believe it, but it happened. We got a huge donation from a man named Bob Wilson who lives in the San Diego area, who heard about the campfire and decided to be super awesome and generous and give literally every student and staff member who was affected by the campfire $1,000 to do whatever they want with. Yeah, just for us. And that was like super awesome in such a bad time. Yeah. And I took Miranda and Jackie out to Olive Garden with it, and it was nice. And after winter break, a lot of people really hated online school. I was one of them. So faculty and staff found this place in Chico by the airport that was going to be our new location. And it was first referred to as airport school. So we were basically having school in an airport, and it was weird. I don't know if I've talked about it at all. With that, it was a 2-story building with 1 flight of stairs, 1 elevator that was not for student use, only if you had a disability or something. Really, really cramped hallways. There were like 2 classrooms, like 2 closed off rooms for classes, and all the rest were out in the open. So basically, you were learning English, calculus, and history all at the same time. It was crazy. We did end up getting like 6-foot dividers to make makeshift classrooms, but it still sucked. But like, it was really nice actually going to school with people. And right before school started, I finally moved back here to my sister's house. She moved back a month prior, but I didn't because I was still in like online school, and I needed Wi-Fi, and there was no Wi-Fi here. But yeah, I moved back to be able to go to airport school because I had no ride down from Oroville. It was kind of worth it to be able to go to like an actual school to see my peers and my teachers and actually be able to learn. One of the worries was I was up in like past Paradise needing to go down to Chico, but the busing situation really sucked. Luckily, in the mornings I didn't have to ride the bus. I drove with my sister to her work, which is now in a temporary location. And then my student teacher, Marta, she picked me up from there and drove me to airport school, which is really nice. Now I have like a really awesome bond with Marta, and I love her. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. The bus that I specifically rode didn't come until an hour after school got out, and this was during rainy season. So I basically waited out in the cold for an hour for a bus. And then the bus didn't stop at where my stop used to be. It went down like a whole 8 blocks away. Luckily there was a shortcut, but it was still a long way to walk. And with that whole thing happening, I brought back my YouTube channel. I brought it back in January, and I reached 100 subscribers, and that was so freaking awesome. Y'all have seen my 100 subscriber play button that my friend made for me, and yeah, that was like such a big milestone to hit, and it was just awesome. But going back to school, something about math. So when we started back up, Like, every class was, like, calm and being like, okay, we're just gonna, like, ease back into this. I know, shit has been rough, so we're just gonna calm down. Except for math! And only math 3, which pissed me off. And then, on top of that, the teacher left. Like, she literally left to go teach, like, online stuff. And the only other math 3 class was taught during my elective periods. So I was like, hey, assistant principal, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And she's like, well, you can either drop one of your electives, which I said no to, or you can go on to e-learning again for math. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do that. Yeah, just hang out, 6th period. For the first day of doing that, I went on there and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do this. It should just be like math from online school. And it wasn't. For some unknowing reason, math 3 semester 2 online was 10 times exponentially worse than math 3 semester 1 online. Why? I don't know. But it was off, and the first day that I went on there, I had utterly no idea what to do. I basically gave up. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this at home and do it like I did at my brother's. Wait for Wi-Fi in February, which, in case you didn't hear, we didn't get, but we'll come to that in a hot minute. So I just hung out 6th period. Sat on the beanbag chair, bonded with one of my friends even more, and went to Wendy's sometime. It was good. February passed and still no Wi-Fi, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get on this. Asked my friend who was in math 3 themselves what they were doing, and they're like, oh, well, I'm just doing the work. You know, I'm just basically skipping through the tutorial and just looking up the questions on the tests, and then just have the main math person unlock the test for me. So I'm like, oh, I'll do that then. I just wanted to get it over with. But because I had a teacher that left be like my main math teacher, she didn't allow me to do that. Like, not even in the slightest. Like, she would not allow me to even email the main math person to try and do that. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Making me do the actual work.
But yeah, I literally couldn't. I was gonna fail math that year if I actually did it. So I went to the assistant principal again and I'm like, hey, I need something different. Is there any way I can switch into financial literacy? And she's like, yeah, if the teacher says you can, do it. So I talked to the teacher and he's like, oh, yeah, if you just make up some tests that we did this semester, sure. I was like, peace out.
Motherfucker.
To the online math and switch to financial lit. It was so much easier than math 3. Like, I regret taking math 3. I should have just taken financial lit because it's actually helpful in the real world. And it took me a month to actually do the tests that I needed to do and also the online program that he had. But then I was finally caught up and I went from an F to a B in what should have been 2 weeks. But it turned into a month. And then yeah, I just really finished the year from there. And it was really easy. Before the final, he told me, hey, if you flunk this final complete, like totally, you'll still have a B in here. Or you'll have a C in here. So there's literally no way you can fail my class.
Congrats.
So I didn't completely zone out on the final. And I got a C on it. So my grade was still a B. Along with all this, academic stuff happening, there was dances and extracurricular things, and I went to winter formal and prom. I'll talk about prom in a second, but I went to winter formal and it was so much fun. I went to Jackie and Miranda, and before that I spent the night and I'm like and ate an entire pack of Uncrustables and then had mac and cheese and went to the dance and it was a lot of fun. Someone did coke. But you know, that's just normal high school, right? Also, the day before the fire, I decided I'm quitting academic decathlon, and then when the fire happened, my teacher was like, hey, are you still in it? And I'm like, I guess. But I decided I wasn't going to go to any of the meetings anymore, except for the very last study session. And yeah, I went to county, which happened to be not in Butte because fire. So I went to Folsom. It was a lot of fun, actually. Spending the night with just the rest of the academic team was fun. The tests, however, were not. And neither was the competition. But you know, half of it was fun. So I guess it was worth going to. And also, I'm so glad I didn't go to the studies, any of the meetings, because those were literally my least favorite part. And finals. Those were really sucky. AP Lang, we didn't really have a final, we just had the AP test. which I didn't do, but getting ready for it really sucked because I still had to get ready for it even though I wasn't taking the test. Musical production, we just put on a full musical, which I'll get to in a second. Broadcast, we made like a best of story of all our stuff that we did. It turned out okay. History was just a normal test. Earth science, that final was blah. And then I took my math final early, so they sucked, but they weren't as awful as they could be. And luckily they only covered second semester stuff, unlike they usually do. And prom! I went with my senior friend, Maggie, and I already talked about prom a lot, but prom was awesome. I'm so going next year, and I'm going to be wearing a pink bow tie and pink suspenders, and there's nothing you can do about it. And yeah, hopefully I'll be going with a cute boy. If not, I'm just going to go with friends or solo. We'll see. But yeah, prom was fun. And 3 days after prom was our full-on musical. We did Seussical the musical. I talked about this a little bit. And I got the lead role, which was really fun. And yeah, we put it on at the theater at Paradise High, and it was really cool. It was just nice to do it in our actual theater. Rehearsal sucked because we had to do it in a really tiny room that was at the airport school. But we did it. Only like 2 parts were bad, which I'm pretty proud of. And then to end the year off with, I went to the seniors graduation. It was really emotional and sweet because campfire stuff, and so many of my friends were seniors, and I was so sad to see them go. I'm so excited for graduation next year. Like, I'm so excited to finally be done with high school. Next year's gonna be good. And that was my junior year. I may in the future do like a little update on like what happened sophomore year. We'll see. But yeah, that was my 3rd year of high school. It's over. I'm glad it's over. It was rough. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up or a little thumbs up if you got tiny Trump fans. Leave a comment below. How was your junior year in high school? Or if you're not there yet, are you excited for it? Tell me about it. Or if you just want to say hi, do so. I read all my comments. And if you like me and this video and things that I've posted in the past and might post in the future, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Next to it, hit the little notification bell to get notified every time I post. Alright, I gotta go study for my learner's permit test. And also turn on the AC because these lights are freaking hot. Bye!